That's just a way for little old me to distinguish my voices just a little bit more so that it's easier for you, the listener, to follow along. This is a little tip for people who might be newer to narration or curious about behind the scenes. I'm not an expert. I am finishing up my 5th book this year. High five. This was my shortest book yet. It was around 40,000 words, and I recorded the entire thing in a week. And last week I was on a vacation, and this week I am mixing and mastering. The whole reason why I'm putting this video out in the world is because I'm a self-taught producer and narrator, and I use Logic Pro. Wait, you don't have to use Reaper in order to produce an audiobook? But every time I do any kind of research, Reaper is all that comes up. Yeah, I know. But you can use Logic Pro. It does the same thing. And it's pretty. This week's hot tip for producing in Logic Pro is panning your audio. Whether you're in Reaper or in Logic Pro, you're going to be able to do this, especially if you're newer to impersonations like me and your voice might not be as distinct as you want it to be for different characters. This tip is going to really define those character differences for you and help the listener follow along and not get so confused when you're switching back and forth from character to character. Panning is an automation tool that will excuse me. Panning is an automation tool that will help you use the audio space. You're given a certain amount of space in the realm of audio. And when you're doing narration, you want to be center. This is your main point of voice, is your foundation, and where the listener will be drawn back to their firm foundation. When you pan, you can either pan to the left or right. Often you'll see it as a negative or a positive. And hopefully I'll have some kind of visual for you. So when you start panning, you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. Who is talking? Is this first person point of view? If it is, if your book is in first POV, then you're not going to want your character's dialogue to be too far from center because this is the main character speaking. We're already hearing their thoughts. They can't be far away. They got to be close. So you want it to be a little bit different than your narration. She said this, he said that, blah, 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 inner monologue. You want it to be different than center, right? But not too different. So maybe +2 or -2, just a little up, or yeah. 1 is, you can hardly hear the difference. I feel like 2 is kind of like okay, there's a little bit of a little something there. Just next. Who is this person talking to? Are they talking to their best friend? Are they talking to a new person who's a complete stranger? Are they talking to 5 or 6 different people, like a room full of people? Let's start with, you're talking to your best friend. So if you're at +2, maybe your best friend is going to be a steady, like +5. They're right by your side. They're pretty close. So another example could be you have 5 people at a table, and your first person POV is at +2. You've got your best friend at +5. You've got a very loud voice, very character. We're gonna put them at -20. They're a little bit further away because you had to speak kind of loud. You don't want them to overwhelm the table. So that character, we're gonna kind of put them a little bit further, a little distant. As you can see, this is what it looks like. Each character needs to have their space. That's a great start for distinguishing your dialogue.